Hey guys, Skinny Pigs 1 here. So I have a pretty big update for you. The piggy room has changed. Cages have changed around because there's now a bunny in the room. Now he wasn't a planned bunny. I knew him from my own personal life and he had the opportunity to come here. He needed a new home, so I said yes. Now I'm hoping I will be keeping him permanently. My husband's not 100% on board with that, but we're working on it. So this is little Seymour. He's about a year and a half old or so. I'm not 100% sure. Somewhere between a year and a half and 2 years old. He's living in a 2x4 CNC type cage. The base of his cage is made of untreated plywood. And he's got a couple mats that are indoor-outdoor carpet. He has a litter box in the corner. He's had a 100% trained. He has a hay rack for now. I've ordered some more stuff for him, and one of the things I ordered was an all-natural hay rack that can sit on the floor. It's made of like willow, so that he can chew that apart, and I don't really like the grid one. He also has a ceramic dish, 2 water bottles. He's got a couple wood things hanging there. He came with this wooden house that he's obsessed with. And this here is a little platform that I made for him. Now I put a top on. At first I didn't have a top, but I was told that he needed one because rabbits could possibly jump over 2 grids, which I didn't know if they would do that or not, and I obviously don't want him running around the house or getting hurt or hopping in with the pigs without me here. He's a sweet little guy. He needs to be neutered though. He has some little behaviors that aren't favorable. He likes to chew and dig, snort, grunt. He hasn't bit, but he kind of makes me nervous sometimes. He's quite possessive over his items in his cage as well, whereas if he gets neutered, he'll calm down and hopefully all those characteristics will mellow out. I can pet him and everything, and I can open his cage door and he'll come to me and stuff like that. Aw, you're cute. So, like, don't get me wrong, he's not an evil bunny. It's just there's some things that kind of make me nervous. I'm not used to those types of behaviors because the pigs are so laid back and never bite and stuff like that. But he's getting neutered next Wednesday, and I know from my mom's rabbits who got neutered, it was like night and day. They're totally cuddly, never bite, you can pet them. They're a lot easier to handle after being neutered, where before my mom's one bunny would attack her pants, rip them, chase her in the kitchen. So you just really need to get their hormones under control so they're not so crazy. But yeah, there is little Seymour. And I'm hoping he's here to stay. The only other place I'd want him to go would be my mom's so that he would be around her rabbits. Because obviously, ideally, just like pigs, they should be in pairs. But it's better to be alone right now and being looked after, so that is Seymour. Sorry, I got some allergies happening today. I have bad allergies. So, here are the piggies set up. Now, Barnaby is still where he was before, in the 3x3. Hi, baby. How are you doing? I just gave him breakfast and tidied everything up. So he's still here, and it's still attached to Kelvin and Hobbs' cage, just like it was before. Hi, Kelvin. And where little Hobbies is. There he is. Hey, Hobbs. The only difference is I attached Ernie and Grover up top here. So there is Ernie. Hi, sweetie. Hi. So Ernie has a 2x3 and Grover has a 3x3. Now ideally, I would have liked to split this 5x3 perfectly in half, which I put these grids here in half and I was happy with it, but Ernie was not. He just goes mental. He was trying to dig under the little grid line here. He just was freaking out, pulling the bar so hard that I was really worried for his safety. Grover didn't care less. Grover's a lot calmer in that sense. And for the plexiglass, I can't use that to divide it perfectly in half because it needs to slip through grids. So I put the plexiglass here, and still at the first, Ernie was nuts. So I put the grids here just to reinforce it, because if you push the plexiglass, it can bow. And he was pushing and trying to get over to Grover, which was really weird because they've been side by side for quite a while now. So it just must have been the big change made him crazy. So I think I'm going to do where for a while Grover's on this side and then I'll switch so that they both get a larger cage at some point. Like a 2x3 is still perfectly acceptable for one piggy, but Ernie deserves to have a little bit bigger. So I think I'll switch them back and forth every once in a while. Now, I know you're all going to wonder, because I got asked before, whether it's hard to clean underneath here. I've had a stack cage before, so I already knew what to expect. I don't find it that bad. I am 5'8", so the top, I have absolutely no problem reaching into the far corner. When I'm putting the liner down, that's the only thing where I use the dustpan to push it just the rest of the way in the corner, but for sweeping up and stuff, I can get everything I need. And now down below, all I do is just lean over here, clean this whole one area, and then I get in Barnaby's cage and clean that whole area. Like, Barnaby doesn't care that I'm leaning in his cage to sweep out theirs. And really, it doesn't matter to me. I could see if you had mobility issues, then obviously that would not be ideal at all, because you do have to get down on your hands and knees and reach. The only tricky thing is trying to pick up Kelvin and Hobbs, because they're the worst to pick up. So I really have to try to get them to the one side and in a corner. Yesterday it was time to clip their nails, and that was the first time I really had to pick them up where they really didn't want me to, and it was kind of difficult because I'd come over here, then they'd run that way, then I'd get up, move over here, they'd run that way. So I was kind of like, oh dear, this is kind of nuts. But I got them both to go in a corner and then scoop them up, so it wasn't too bad. But other than that, I kind of really like it because now there's a bit more floor space in here. Still have my purifier. This is a bin. Today is Thursday. They got their cage cleaned Tuesday night, so today all their mats under their hay, their beds, all get changed to fresh ones. So like Barnaby's on a fresh mat, and that's a fresh mat, that's a fresh bed, all that kind of stuff, because they get changed again Friday night. I like to have fresh mats every other day or so, just because they pee a lot where they're eating, and they pee a lot in their beds, so they need fresh beds. And then over here is just kind of a mix of stuff. They've got their Perfect Paws cream, their lotion, some garbage bags, the scale I weigh them in. That's their garbage pail and their dustpan and scoopers. And then in the closet, I've got their 50 pounds of hay, and underneath is a container with their pellets. I've got cage liners all folded up top, and this is where it looks like a disaster. Those are all their liners and such that I put by their hay racks. There's a little container of pellets that I use to go around in the morning with. This is just filled up with their urinary tab bottles. Yeah, so that's what the closet looks like. Sometimes it looks like a disaster and there's lots of hay spilled around. And then over here is what Seymour was brought with, some shavings to change his litter box. I went and bought huge bags of aspen shavings at the TSC store, which is kind of like a home hardware store, more geared towards farming. But they were selling them $11, and they were probably at least the size of this bin here. So really big bag for $11, so I bought 3 or 4 of those. Because I change his litter box like every 2 or 3 days. And every day I sprinkle a little bit more on top where he's pooped the most so that it's not touching his bum. And here are two like laundry type bins that have their clean beds in. I need to probably get another one of those because if I have all my laundry washed and dried, it does not fit. And then over here in the corner is their floor vent. So I have fleece lining the cage so that it does not blow on them because right now the AC comes on all the time. That's one of the reasons that I absolutely love this room for them, because they get the gorgeous sunshine from the window, which in the winter really helps to keep the room warmer. And I love the floor vent being right over there and not up on the ceiling, like up on the high walls like some floor and AC comes out of, because that seems to keep them a lot warmer just being right there in the corner. Because they get obviously AC in the summer and the furnace is on a lot in the winter to keep this room just perfect. And that seems to do a really good job, but I just don't want any drafts or anything blowing on them. So that is that. Now for Seymour's cage, there's some people that said he should not be in a CNC cage because he could get his legs stuck, he could die, like a whole bunch of stuff. That freaked me out at first because I was like, oh, I didn't know I did anything wrong for him. I was just trying to give him a bigger cage because he came with a little pet store cage. But I talked to a bunch of people, and one of the ones is BudgetBunny, really nice girl, and she helped me to explain like that I should put a top on it and just a few pointers here and there to watch to make sure he doesn't chew the carpet, to get maybe a bigger litter box so he can dig in it more, just stuff like that. And she uses CNC grids along with some custom building to her cages, and she said that that was just fine, so that made me feel better because I was like, oh no, what have I done wrong with him? I was just trying to give him somewhere nice to be. But I think it's like anything you have for small pets, there's always going to be somebody with a story that something didn't work for them. Just like the hay racks with guinea pigs that a lot of people say things are unsafe, that a pig has got their head stuck or their leg broke. Not everybody experiences that, but you should definitely do everything you can to make something as safe as you can, of course. So I've watched him a lot and I haven't seen anything that has worried me, and I feel better now that he has a lid so that he's not going to try to jump out. But yeah, let's take a look at little Seymour again. He's having some pellets here. So I'm pretty excited to go get him neutered and to have him start to calm down. And then hopefully once he's neutered, I can have him kind of run around the house more. And hopefully my husband will really enjoy that. So far my husband has been petting him and stuff, so I hope he'll let him stay. But yeah, so that's the overview of the guinea pig room and the bunny room. It's weird having something with fur, isn't it? Alright, see you guys.